where we are taking this 240Z and we are swapping a Vortec 4200 into it, which we kind of already did. But we are now on the back side of the car where we need to upgrade the differential. The R200 can hold up quite a bit of power, but unfortunately, with it being a stick car, and it's going to be probably making somewhere around the 1,000 horsepower range when we put the built motor in it, we're going to need to add a little bit more strength so things will last. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking this right here, this Super 8.8 differential. I think you guys can see it in the camera. We're going to be swapping that thing into here, and I'm going to do the whole thing on video for you guys to watch. Now, normally I just kind of do the work and then I record and show you guys how I did it and what I did, but I'm going to change some stuff up for now on. For the most part anyways, I wouldn't say it all the time, but for right now, we are going to change things up and do it as we go. We're going to be making videos as I'm doing the work. It's going to take a lot longer for me to do this, but I want to do more weekly by weekly videos for everybody to see, and so we can I don't know, get somewhere with all this. But that being said, let's talk about the 8.8. Okay, so here is our Super 8.8 differential. These things come out of a S550 Mustang. This particular one will come out of a manual Mustang, just because it's got a cast iron cover right here. On the back side of it, it is aluminum, but if you get like a V6 or an automatic Mustang, I believe this whole thing is aluminum. And that's kind of what we want. We want something that can take a little bit of abuse, just because it's going to be a manual car and make some power. And they say the aluminum ones right up in here, they will break, and we don't want that. So that's why we went with the cast iron. This thing weighs quite a bit more. I'm not exactly sure on the weight difference between this and the R200 that's coming out of this thing, but there is more weight to this thing. So if you're trying to do something that you want less weight in the car, this is probably not the route to go. But for me, I want something that's going to hold up and take a beating, and if I want to, I can change stuff pretty easily, because there is a lot more aftermarket for this versus the R200. Now, this is going to be fun to put in. We're going to have to make our own custom mounts off of these 4 ears right here. I'm going to have to get the dimensions on the the holes here and here, and then I can get some stuff ordered to make mounts and whatnot, because most of this is all going to be tubular. I've got a Rogue Fab tube bender that we're going to be using to make all this bracketry and stuff. I do see a lot of people just cutting out some stuff with a plasma table and whatnot, which works great. What I want to do is I want to do as much support as I can with as little material as I can, if that makes any sense for everybody. Because I do see a lot of them that are just great big plates, and plates over here and plates over there of thick steel to hold these things in, and I feel like I could just take some tubular pieces and just kind of build off of this thing. So that's my plan. I'm kind of rambling on that, and we'll get into more detail on that when we start building that part of it. But for today, what we're going to end up doing is just kind of getting the old stuff out and then kind of sizing up the new stuff. These are the axles that we're going to be using. These are 930 axles. The one thing though that I'm not too sure on is the fact that these things are set up for the R200 and not the 8.8. I'm pretty sure there's a little bit of size difference between the R200 and the Super 8.8, so I'm not 100% sure if these are going to work quite yet, so bear with me on that. We're going to go ahead and get this thing all apart over here, and then kind of get the differentials out together and put them side by side, and then see what the size difference is and see what we got to do to make all this work. So also, as you can see, hold on, I'm moving the camera. Hold on. Also, as you can see, the back of the car is up in the air. That's because we're going to get to work on this today. One of the things we're going to have to do when we start building this thing is we got to get it up in the air all the way and leveled out before we start making bracketry for that 8.8 differential. So, but for now, all we're doing is ripping things out and then sizing it up. So we don't really need to have this thing leveled out. So we just got the back of the car jacked up in the air and we're gonna get after it. Alrighty, so we're underneath the car, as you can see. And also, as you can see, this thing is pretty much completely stock back here, other than it has the R200 in it instead of the I believe it's like R180 or something like that the 240s came in with. The 280s had the R200 diff, which is a lot stronger, and that's what it has right now. And I know for sure that that's not going to, well, the R200, it might work, but we're going to upgrade it anyways. So, as you can see, this is all stock. The stock control arm, stock axles, stock mounting points, probably the factory bushings and everything else that's in here. That is just not going to work. I don't want wheel hop. I want this thing to dead hook, and that way we can do some crazier stuff, and this thing's not get out of hand. Also, as you can see, we do have some coilovers on this. I'm not sure the brand that this is, but they're there, and I'm more than likely going to be removing these and doing something different. I have an idea on this where I can use maybe an S13 or an S14 drag coilover for this, and just kind of make a bracket right here that will work. I'm not 100% sure on that quite yet. I got to do a little bit more research on it, but today we are going to be removing these axles and replacing all this up in here. And then we're also going to be taking out the diff, and I think I'm going to have to take out quite a bit actually to get this the new differential up in here. So that's going to be fun. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of get started, get the wheels off of this thing and start tearing this thing apart. I'm going to put you guys down. I don't know if I'm going to put it on a time lapse, but yeah, I'm not going to put you guys on a time lapse. I want to put you guys through that. I'm going to go ahead and rip this stuff off real quick, and then I'll be right back. Got the axles, the hubs, and the R200 differential out of this thing. And we've got quite a bit of room now to do stuff. But I still got a lot of cleaning up to do. Got some exhaust pieces I need to get out of here. I got to tie up these lines, this and that. But let's go ahead and go over to where I've got the differentials, and then kind of do a size comparison on it. Okay, so I've got both differentials out right now, and as you can see, there is quite a bit of difference between the two of these things. A lot of a difference between the two of these things. As you can see, we're narrower on this, but longer than the 8.8. How much of a difference, I'm not 100% sure. Let me grab a tape measure real quick. Got my tape. We're going to measure these out a little bit. This is not like 100% accurate. This is just kind of eyeballing it. I'm about probably 9.5 to 10 inches wide off the stub axles on the R200, and I don't have the stub axles for this, but say we'll just add like an inch to each side for the stub axles, and we're looking at about 14.5 inches with if the stub axles are in it. Not for sure how wide this thing's going to be with the stub axles, but we're at about 14.5. So like I said, we're we got a little bit of a difference here, and that makes it, well, at least it makes me think that the axles are not going to work. Therefore, we might have to do something different. Maybe, probably not. I don't know. Have to make either custom 930 axles for this thing, or maybe the cheaper, easier route. I wouldn't say cheaper, but maybe the easier route is to go after one of these companies that are actually building kits for the Super 8.8. Maybe that's the route to go. Yeah, that sucks. But alrighty guys, so as you can see, we're in a little bit of a dilemma right now with the differentials that I knew were different sizes. They were going to be quite a bit different, but I didn't realize exactly how much different. And I was really hoping to use those 930 axles that I already had, but it doesn't look like that's going to be able to be done. I thought about cutting the axles down, but there is reliefs in the axle for where the boot gets clamped down on the axle, so we're not going to be able to cut the axles down and respline them. It's just not going to be a thing we could do unless we was to buy new axle shafts, custom ones, which I'm not quite sure on the cost on that. I had to look into it. Another option is to possibly go to another company, or a company that's already building these Super 8.8 kits. I know of two off the top of my head right now that are building Super 8.8 kits for these S30, 240Z, 260, and 280Z cars. And I might go ahead and go that route just to save me a little bit of time. It's going to cost me a little bit more money, but the sheer amount of time that I'm going to be saving just by installing a kit versus having to build an entire kit might be worth that to me. And then we could just focus on other things like the suspension or whatever else to make this car that much better. But that being said, guys, it's going to call it for this one. Kind of a short, sweet video of what I'm not able to do. So I appreciate everybody watching, and hopefully we get this all figured out. So I will see you guys on the next one. Later.